Lassiter. I run the Fab Foundation, as well as I work with Professor Neil Gershenfeld at MIT at the Center for Bits and Atoms. And I live in Boston, and I got into this because Neil let me take the How to Make Almost Anything course. And I took that, and I never looked back. Fab Lab is my love and my passion. What we need now is a population that has these integrated skills that can now do just about any kind of thing around technology. They're agile enough to be able to figure it out, to problem solve, and then to kind of get ahead of it, right? So in 2002, we deployed the first lab, or sort of proto lab, in rural India, right? And then the second lab was in rural Africa, I think, and then it was in rural Norway. And so there were these very strange, out of the way places that really were interested in measuring and modifying the world around us. And now we're about 1,800 labs in 126 countries. And that's been a very rapid growth over the last, I would say, about 10, 15 years. And now it's accelerating. It's like Moore's Law. It's accelerating. What we're seeing is that formal educational institutions are starting to take this up. So universities, community colleges, high schools, middle schools, and now even grammar schools, like very young students. But the other side of it is corporations are starting to take this on, as are incubators. Incubators, super important to them, right? Because it's not just about creating software and IT and applications. It's about what can you create in the physical world that's related, right? And so that's the way we see it growing right now. So it's gone from it's just kind of cool community spaces to now, this might really be a part of the mainstream. You come into a Fab Lab, you learn coding because it's time to learn coding. You learn design because it's time to learn design. And you make these wonderful functional things that really at heart are technology. And so I feel like in the 21st century, if our students are to survive and be real participants in the economy, they have to have these skill sets. So we really need to get this kind of education, this kind of approach, this project-based kind of learning approach into schools so that our youth, really can participate and lead the way in terms of the economy of the future. The Fab Foundation really is trying to support the growth of the network, and it's about democratizing access to these tools for invention. But it's not just the tools. You can't just give somebody the tools. It's the tools, it's the knowledge, it's the financial means, right? And so financial means might mean, okay, how do I support people getting this kind of education in Fab Academy or in their local school or in their local university? But it might also be about, how do we help this startup reach its potential?
Hi, Lauren Lieberman. Pleasure.
Pleasure. Owner of this building, but beyond that, he's really hosting the community to become even more innovative, and he's an amazing innovator.
I haven't had a chance to explore the building. What do you have downstairs?
So historically, the building was all apparel. Many workers, textiles, manufacturing, and today we're excited that it has everything in it. It has biotech. It has a WeWork type space that's homegrown. Mm-hmm. We call it the Hive. It's got its own environment of startups. We have all different types of companies in here. We still have apparel companies, but those companies have transformed themselves into being able to survive in the 21st century.
Mm-hmm. Is that part of your kind of mission, your goal?
Absolutely.
Is it?
I love being part of the redevelopment of it. We're in the textile business and in the real estate business. Mm-hmm. When I think about how I want to create, more opportunities for accelerators, you're part of the story. Mm-hmm. And my dream is to have just many more accelerators in Montreal. I can't wait to bring my children to see what you guys are doing, because to me, you're an incubator of the future of what can happen in this neighborhood.
And we're really looking forward to this becoming a Fab City and the collaboration ahead, because I think it's super important.
As a guest in Montreal, we really want you to feel comfortable. Whatever we could do for the organization in any capacity whatsoever would be our greatest pleasure. And we really hope that the relationship that we have with Communautique can only grow, and we want to help in every way we can.
In order to have impact in today's world, I think it's extremely important that we as a network, the Fab Lab network, become part of the anchor of what makes things work. And so when you think about what makes things work in this next economy, in this next world, it's partially the government, it's partially industry, and it's partially community and community activism. And that's where the Fab Labs come in. Now, what's hard about that is that's an unusual relationship, and sort of the Fab Lab network has been sort of known as kind of a DIY, independent, whatever. But as we're growing up, and as governments and industry realize the importance of what we do, I think that kind of partnership becomes critical. And this is one of our first opportunities to really look at and explore what those partnerships look like. And so it's pretty exciting that that's going to happen here in Montreal.